You know, there have been a lot of classes that stand out to me.
One course that sticks out in my mind, just because I've taken it so recently, was Ways of Reading with Major Hurd.
My favorite class by far was the Appalachian class with Major Readings.
One of the most rewarding classes was the Civic Discourse class I took with Catherine Gillum.
The course that I value the most would probably be the Shakespeare Major Figures course that I took with Colonel Emily Miller, the head of the English department.
It took me out of my comfort zone, but it also expanded my horizons as a writer.
That class really stands out to me because it was one of the moments that helped me get published. If I hadn't taken that class, I don't think I ever would have written an op-ed.
It got me to think a lot about other stereotypes of different groups.
And having Colonel Miller as an instructor was awesome. She's excellent.
It sort of forced me to write concisely and with detail and to critique really difficult texts.
Honestly, between rhetorical traditions, both sections, and then civic discourse, I really kind of jumped into my topic for my capstone. And so with rhetorical traditions, I really analyzed the politics behind music, or the politics behind art, and the politics behind speeches. Many of the rhetorical elements that are used in a classical sense, and even today, and it made me realize just how intertwined rhetoric and politics are. Honestly, the class just changed my entire view of civic engagement in our society, and it kind of made me want to get more involved.
More than a hair salon, Thomas Dunn Studios offers hair, makeup, photography, and wedding services. Using only the highest quality products, Aveda, Bumble and Bumble, Orbe, and our own cosmetics line. The end result speaks for itself. Thomas Dunn Studios, Roanoke's one-stop source for elegance.
I'm Nehemiah Persoff. I worked in New York on stage, and I worked in television in New York, and I did movies, and I did 55 years of acting. In the old days, when the stage was lit with oil or kerosene or whatever, lights were very bad. The actors had to put on very heavy makeup so that their faces could be seen. There were no microphones, so they had to speak out to reach the far balcony way out there. The acting was more a declamation. There were certain signals that you'd send. You love somebody or you're angry. And there was a man in Russia by the name of Stanislavski who decided that he had a method that would help people go from acting in a declamatory way into a naturalistic way. But it really wasn't until Elia Kazan started the actor studio that the styles began to change. The people liked what they saw with these actors, and the producers and directors began to call for method, so to speak, actors. It was in 1947 when I had been at summer stock, and when I came to New York, a friend of mine told me that the famous director, Elia Kazan, was starting an acting school. And I got an audition. A few days later, I got a postcard inviting me to the first meeting of the actor studio. And I looked around. Brando was sitting here, Montgomery Clift, a lot of other actors, John Garfield. It was rare company. And then Kazan got up and spoke, and he said that he'd auditioned almost every actor in New York, and this is the group he came up with, and that we are the cream of the crop, and on and on and on and on and on, and I left there walking on clouds. Now, you want to know what the method is? The method merely says that when you're acting, know what you're saying, speak the truth. You are not acting another person, but that other person is you. You are the one that's involved.
My hometown, Swan River, could have been known for murder the way Chicago is known for pizza, Roswell for aliens. We didn't have any famous killers, but we did have a pattern. Teenage girls who slaughtered and pillaged with the abandon of lifelong criminals. The locals called these hellions the Wild Girls. No one knew what triggered the change of an ordinary teenager to one of these fierce creatures. There was no clear cause, no toxic sludge in the drinking water. I was at the age of vulnerability, but I swore I would never be one of them. It was my senior year of high school. I had other things to worry about.
So, you're interested in temporary employment?
That's right. Whatever you can find me.
Well, it says here that your experience has mainly been in the superheroing field.
That's correct. I've been a superhero for 10 years.
And in that position, have you done any work with spreadsheets?
No, I don't think so.
Data entry?
No, it didn't come up. I was mostly fighting criminals.
Criminals?
Robots, too. Aliens. A lot of them were from other planets, actually.
This really isn't a relevant skill set.
Mad scientists.
We primarily fill office positions. Can you type?
No.
Thank you for your resume. And if we get anything for you, we'll give you a call.
Oh.